what we'd like to call the market sensing problem, which is what news do I look at that is important to me. And that is a graph problem, because as you get the news, what you really want to understand is what is the news talking about, which company, which industry, what economic event or political event has happened, and then relate that, to what your portfolio is or what your outlook is. And the best way that is done is to put your what you're interested in, whether it's the companies you're following, the areas you're following, in the form of a graph, and then see when news comes in, to be able to see which parts of this graph are affected. So effectively, it's almost like turning a light on based on a piece of news that comes in, and say, okay, this is what I should be worried about. And there are great examples of how this works. So one example of this is recently in the Financial Times, there was an article that talked about how the crops in sub-Saharan Africa as of last summer was affected badly because of a swarm of locusts. And interestingly, that was traced back to when Gaddafi was deposed in Libya. The setup, the agricultural monitoring setup that was there in Libya failed because there was because of the chaos there, as a result of which there was no spraying done, and because of that, the locusts, there was a bigger locust swarm than before, and locusts tend to always fly in swarms and ravage crops wherever they can. And if you're in North Africa, pretty much the only place you can fly is either into the Mediterranean, which is not a good idea, or you fly south, which is what they did. And so it's another impact of how news is connected to economic events, which can affect your, as a trader, your portfolio and your outlook. It's interesting that we can now offer a platform that allows people to analyze and understand graphs at scale. I'm Venkat Krishnamurthy, and this has been a uRiKA moment.